Good morning, student. I, Professor Trupti Ghongre, welcomes you all to the second unit of Mobile Application and Development. In this unit, we are going to learn what is operating system, what are the types of operating system, what is JDK, SDK, and after that, we are going to learn how to install and configure Android system. Okay, so coming to the topic, that is operating system. So I think that everyone is familiar with the operating system because nowadays everywhere, whatever the electronics gadgets, whatever the computer system we have taken, the system will work only based on the operating system. Okay, so without operating system, your equipment will not work. Okay, so let us see what is the operating system. Okay, so an operating system is nothing but it is a program that acts as an intermediary between user of a computer and computer hardware. Okay, so we can say that it just acts as an interface between user and hardware. Okay, operating system acts as an interface between user and hardware. Okay, so in your computer system, that means that you are a user. So in your computer system, you are having hardware parts. Okay, so if you want to work with those hardware parts, you need to install some softwares. Okay, to run that hardware parts. Okay, so it's act as an, or we can say that it acts as an interface between the user of the computer and computer hardware. The software we need between the hardware and user is called as operating system. Okay, so here operating system acts as an interface between the user and the computer hardware. Okay, so that exactly the operating system is. So you have to call that operating system is nothing but it is a software or it is a program that acts as an intermediary between the user and the computer hardware. Okay. So after that, second point is that it is a program that controls the execution of application program. So you can call like this also. So operating system is a program that controls the execution of the application program. So in brief, we can say that this operating system acts as an interface between the application and hardware. So internal, we can call this operating system acts as an interface between the application and hardware. Okay, so now coming to the next topic, that is what is the objective of this operating system, or why there is a need of uh, operating system in your computer, in your mobile, laptop, and tablet. Okay, so why we are using operating system? What are the objectives of this operating system? Now the first objective is that convenience. Okay, first objective of operating system is that convenience. Second one is efficiency, and third one is ability to evolve. Ability to evolve means ability to solve complex problem. Okay, so here in this video I am explaining about the basic concept of operating system. Okay, now next is what are the types of operating system. Before that, what I have told you, what is operating system? Operating system acts as an interface between this user and hardware. Okay, user means हम लोग and hardware means our computer system. So computer understands binary or machine level language. Okay, we all know that computer understands binary or machine level language, and we know that that means user knows that high level language. Okay, so whatever we want to say in high level language, computer can't understand. Okay, whatever user says in high level language, computer can't understand. Okay, likewise whatever the computer says in binary language, we can't understand, that means user can't understand. Okay, so between this user and hardware, operating system works as an intermediator. Okay, for the communication. Okay, so for the communication between the user and the computer system, we need operating system. For example, real life example is, for example, I can speak and understand English language. Okay, and you can speak and understand Hindi language. Okay, but you don't understand English and I don't understand Hindi. So whenever we want to talk with each other, we need a mediator between you and me. Okay, who can speak both the languages. That means who can speak both the English and Hindi language. Okay, understood? So this work of mediator is done by your operating system. So whatever the commands we have given in high level language, OS converts that commands into machine level language and vice versa. Okay, so operating system acts as an interface between user and hardware. We can also say that operating system acts as an interface between application and hardware, and we can also call it as operating system acts as a mediator between the user and hardware for the communication purpose. Okay, now our topic is what are the types of operating system. Okay, so there are 5 types of operating system: batch operating system, time sharing operating system, distributed operating system, network operating system, and real time operating system. So first we will see what is batch operating system. Okay, now the batch operating system will work to submit similar kinds of jobs together. Batch operating system submits similar kinds of jobs together at one place. Okay. So in this type of operating system, users do not interact directly with our computer system. Batch operating system submits similar kinds of jobs together, and in this type of operating systems, users do not interact directly with the computer system. Okay. Now let us understand it by the given diagram. Okay. Now in this figure, there are 5 users, that is A, B, C, D and E. Now these 5 users having 5 jobs, that is job 1, job 2, job 3, 4 and 5. Actually it is 5. Okay, job 5. Okay, so now these users wants to perform their jobs by using this CPU. Okay, now these 5 users want to perform their 5 jobs by using this CPU. So first of all, batch operating system has one operator. Okay, now batch operating system has one operator. So what does this operator do? First, it will collect all the jobs from all the users. Okay, in batch operating system, first operator what does operator will do? It will collect all the jobs from all the users. Okay, and after that, it will check how many users are there having same requirement. Okay, now operator will check how many users are having same requirement. Why? Because batch operating system works on similar kinds of jobs, and that's why the first function of operator is to collect all the jobs and then to identify how many jobs having or how many users having same jobs. Okay, so for example, job 1 and job 3 is same. It means that user A and user C having same requirement. That means user A and user C having same jobs. Okay. So here operators makes one batch for the job 1 and job 3. Okay. Do you understand what I'm telling? First, operator will collect all the jobs from all the users. After that, it will check how many users having same requirements or how many users having same jobs. After finding that, it will create a one batch for similar jobs, that is job 1 and job 3. Okay. Now after that, it will submit this batch to the CPU. Okay. Now similarly, after that again operator checks how many users are there having same requirements except A and C, because here we are already created batch 1 for user A and user C. Okay, so B, D and E. Now operator checks how many users are having same jobs. Okay, now for example, user B, user D and user E. These 3 users are having same job. Okay, now for this operator again creates another batch, that is batch 2 for job 2, job 4 and job 5. That means for the user B, user D and user E. Okay, so for similar kinds of jobs, batch operating system creates different batches with the use of this operator, and after that it will submit these batches to the CPU. Okay, so now you can see that user is here and your computer system, that means your CPU is here, and between the user and CPU there is an operator and there is a batch. It means that we can say that in batch operating system, users do not directly interact with the computer system. Okay, users do not directly interact with the computer system. Okay, understood. Now another example or another real life example is that user A and user C wants to run C program. Okay, user A and user C को C program run करना है. It means that user A and user C having same requirement. For that, operator creates batch 1. Okay, that is job 1 is for user A and job 3 is for user C. Okay, and now यूजर बी, यूजर डी एंड यूजर ई, इनकी रिक्वायरमेंट है कि इनको C++ का प्रोग्राम रन करना है. इट मीन्स दैट यूजर बी, डी एंड ई, अगेन दिस 3 users having same requirement. For that, here operator creates batch 2, that is job 2, job 4 and job 5, and after that operator will submit these two jobs, that is these two batches, that is batch 1 and batch 2 to the CPU. Okay, so this is all about the batch operating system. Now next operating system is time sharing operating system. Okay, so time sharing operating system works with the time sharing concept. As the name suggests, it means it shares a time. Okay, so here the CPU will provide same time to each and every process to complete its tasks as soon as possible, whether it's long process or short process. Okay, so here CPU provides same time to all the processes. 6 processes are here and this is CPU. Now here CPU provides same time to all the processes. In this figure, CPU providing 10-second time to each process. Okay, now here doesn't matter whether short or long process. Okay, it doesn't matter whether process is short or long. Still CPU assigns same time to each and every process. Okay, now let's look at this figure. Now there are 6 processes. This is CPU and here CPU providing 10-second time to each and every process. Okay, that means equal time. Okay, so now for example, process 1 is a short process. Okay, now process 1 is a short process. Time assigned to process 1 is 10 seconds. Okay, so here CPU provides 10-second time to process 1, but it completes its work in 2 seconds only. Okay, now process 1 is a short process, that's why it completes its work in 2 seconds only. Okay, now 8 seconds are remaining. 10 seconds are assigned. Process 1 is complete in 2 seconds and now 8 seconds time is remaining. Now what will CPU? Now what CPU will do? Now here CPU will distribute that 8-second time equally between the remaining 5 processes. That means CPU divides this 8-second time equally between process 2, process 3, process 4, 5 and 6. Okay, so now process 2 requires 20-second time, but CPU assign only 10 seconds. Okay, but it means that it doesn't matter whether process 1 is short, whether process 2 is long, but CPU provides same time to each and every process assigned to it. Okay. Now, the next operating system is distributed operating system. When many computers are interconnected to each other through a network for the purpose of sharing their tasks, then it is called that distributed operating system. Now let's understand this by given figure. Here we have one network and 4 computers are connected to this network, that is computer A, computer B, computer C and computer D. Okay, now these 4 computers are connected to the same network. It means that they can share their tasks here. Okay, suppose A has one software. Now here A has one software which it can share with B, C and D because they are connected through the same network. Okay, so they can share their tasks, but they cannot share their hardware components. For example, CPU, memory. Okay, now here real life example is that बहुत बार ऐसा होता है कि हमारे लैब में एक ही मास्टर कंप्यूटर रहता है जिसे प्रिंटर कनेक्ट रहता है. ओके, एंड जो रिमेनिंग कंप्यूटर्स है उसमें से किसी भी कंप्यूटर से अगर हम लोग प्रिंट की कमांड देते हैं तो मास्टर कंप्यूटर से उसकी प्रिंट निकलती है. Why? Because all these computers are connected to the same network. Okay, so it means that they can share their tasks, but condition is that they cannot share their hardware components. Okay. Now the next operating system is network operating system. Now network operating system have a server that connects many other client computers. Okay, so for example, there are 4 computers connected to the server. Computer A, B, C and D. Server means what? Server means your main computer. Okay, so now the basic function of server is to provide storage. The basic function of server is to provide storage. Second is to provide backup. And the most important function of the server is to provide security. Okay. So here 4 computers are connected to this server. For example, this computer C has lost his files. So it can ask it to the server. Okay, because server provides backup. Okay, so computer C lost his files and that time C can ask it for this or C can ask it to the server. Okay, so if server doesn't have, then what it will do? It will ask it to A. Okay, now server के भी पास अगर उसकी कॉपी नहीं है तो सर्वर किसके पास जाएगा? कंप्यूटर A के पास. ओके, एंड नाउ कंप्यूटर A हैविंग दिस फाइल्स. ओके, सो अब कंप्यूटर A क्या करेगा? उस फाइल को सर्वर के साथ शेयर करेगा और आफ्टर दैट सर्वर will provide these files to the computer C. Okay, so here server also acts as a medium of communication between the computers. Okay, so it means these all computer systems can communicate with each other through this server system. Okay, so this is about the network operating system where computers are interconnected through the server so that they can easily share their files, resources, and many more from the server machine. But in the previous operating system, these computers cannot share their resources. Okay, it means these computers cannot share their hardware components. But here, all the computers can share their files, resources, and many more. Now, the next type of operating system is real-time operating system. So, real-time operating system is very important where we required a quick response. For example, missile system. Okay. For example, you have given a command to the computer system and you required a response at millisecond. And that time, which operating system you will be used? That is real-time operating system. Okay, because it provides you a quick response like missile systems. Okay, so it has a very fast response time. And that's why generally we use real-time operating systems in the scientific engineering. Also, real-time operating system is used by the NASA and many more organizations. Okay, but this operating system is very costly. Okay, so also the examples of real-time operating systems are where missiles has to be launched at certain time. It also used in hospitals. जब कोई critical operations करना पड़ता है, जब patients को operate करना पड़ता है, internal surgeries में भी real-time operating system का use होता है. Okay, and in this operating system, CPU provides maximum efforts to its tasks with the quick response. It means what happens? CPU को हम जो भी काम assign करते हैं, CPU अपने पूरे 100% effort के साथ उसे perform करता है, and that's why it provides quick response. But along with that, it also a costly operating system. Now the next topic is what is JDK, JRE, and what is JVM. Okay, so first let's talk about the JDK. JDK stands for the Java Development Kit. It normally contains JVM and JRE. Now what is JVM and what is JRE? JVM stands for the Java Runtime Environment and JRE stands for the JRE stands for the Java Runtime Environment and JVM stands for the Java Virtual Machine. Okay, now the JDK, that is Java Development Kit, provides all the tools to work with the Java language. Java language को जावा के प्रोग्राम्स रन करने के लिए जो भी टूल्स जो भी सॉफ्टवेयर हमको लगते हैं वो सारे जेडीके प्रोवाइड करता है. Now what is JRE? Now JRE stands for the Java Runtime Environment. Okay, and it provides an environment to execute the Java program. Java program को execute करने के लिए जो भी tools and softwares लगते हैं वो सारे provide करता है JDK. Okay, now उसी program को execute करने के लिए जो environment लगता है उसे provide करता है JRE, that is Java Runtime Environment, and it internally contains JVM, which is responsible to execute a Java program. JDK internally contains JRE and JVM. Now JRE internally contains JVM, and now JVM is responsible to execute your Java program. Okay, tools are provided by JDK, environment is provided by JRE, and JVM is responsible for the actual execution of your Java program. Now next is JVM. Now this JVM stands for the Java Virtual Machine. Okay, in Java we have Java Virtual Machine. In Android we have Dalvik Virtual Machine, that is DVM, that we will see in detail in our next lecture. Okay, so here JVM is the software in the form of interpreter written in C language, through which we can execute our Java program. Okay, so JVM एक interpreter है जो लिखा गया है C language में, through which we can execute our Java program. As I told you before, JDK provides tools and softwares for the Java language, JRE provides environment, and JVM execute your Java program. Okay. Now let's understand it by this given figure. Now here there is a JVM plus library. ठीक है? Here is a JVM plus Java classes library. It contains, it means that it contains some library. After that, in another circle, there is a JRE, that is Java Runtime Environment. As I told you before, JRE contains JVM. Okay, this JRE contains JVM, and the last circle is of JDK. So as I discussed before, JDK internally contains JRE and JVM. Okay, so now next is we can also call it as JRE means JVM plus libraries. It means that JRE contains JVM plus libraries, and JDK we can return it as JDK is equals to JRE plus JVM, which also includes the library. Okay. Now next is when we can use JDK, JRE and JVM. Who can use it and when? So if you are a developer, then you have to install JDK on your computer system, because developers develop things and make them use. And because JDK has both the compiler and interpreter for the programs. Now JRE is Java Runtime Environment. If you have a .class file, means if you have a bytecode, this bytecode file is provided by JDK, that is Java Development Kit, after the compilation of file. Okay, so in JRE you can execute your .class file only. It means by using JDK, programmers have developed program, but to execute that program and to get an output, you need Java Runtime Environment. Okay, now what is JVM? Java Virtual Machine. JVM is by default installed in all the systems that are required to run a Java program. Okay, it means that जिसमें भी सिस्टम जावा प्रोग्राम्स को रन करता है, जो भी सिस्टम जावा प्रोग्राम्स को रन करता है, उन सभी सिस्टम्स में JVM बाय डिफॉल्ट इंस्टॉल रहता है. Okay, so this is all about the JDK, JRE and JVM. JDK has both the compiler and interpreter, and that's why if you are a developer, then you need JDK in your system. JRE provides an environment to execute your Java program, and for the actual execution of your Java program, you need Java Virtual Machine. Okay, so I hope you understand what is operating system. Then what are the objectives of the operating system? what are the types of operating system, and what is meant by JDK, JRE, and JVM. Okay, so I hope you understand all this. Have a nice day. Goodbye.